You like practice?
Yeah.
I love practice.
I just like buzzing people's ass. It's just, that was just,
Yeah.
I mean, you know.
Did you ever do one of those meditation things that Phil would make the entire team do?
Yeah, because he would have y'all like sage, right?
Yeah.
Like burning basically marijuana in the background when you guys are doing meditation?
Pretty much.
I mean, when the first time I came in there, I thought it was marijuana. I walked in there, I'm like, this is dope.
Welcome back to Out of Bounds. I'm Pierce Simpson. I'm joined here by the greatest cast ever, including Mr. Gilbert Arenas, who's already started today. But on today's episode, we're going to talk about the Houston Rockets getting their impressive victory in the Bay Area to even things up, and of course the Eastern Conference Finals that begin again tonight. But I'm joined here by Complex Sports editor Adam Caparell. Cap, how you feeling, brother?
My man, doing all right today?
Doing all right today? We'll save our guest for last, but I'm joined here by Mr. Gilbert Arenas, who's already, listen, I'm trying to do my intro. You jumping in saying my words.
Because you like to be so professional that any little mistake, you got to redo the tape.
You got to do it. But saving the best for last, we have former NBA champion, Mr. Metta World Peace in the building. You have a well-decorated resume. Let me run through it real quick. 4-time NBA All-Defensive Team selection, 2004 NBA Defensive Player of the Year, and All-NBA selection, 2010 NBA champion, beating the Boston Celtics as a member of the Los Angeles Lakers, and a pioneering member of the mental health advocate in the league in the NBA.
I got the Citizenship Award.
Citizenship Award, okay.
And you have how that work out, buddy.
And you have a new book on the way, No Malice, My Life in Basketball, or How a Kid from Queensbridge Survived the Streets, the Brawls, and himself to become an NBA champion. That's out in stores now. Metta World Peace. Appreciate you coming on Out of Bounds.
It's good to be here, man. It's good to be here.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Good to have a New Yorker on the show for a change.
I mean, hey, that's a good feeling. But again, thank you for having us.
Absolutely.
You know, Gil, he's already acting up. You know, he's acting up.
Absolutely. Gil's perfect for this.
He's a great guy,
his
right?
world.
Gil's a great guy,
This is
man.
his world right
He's a
here.
great guy. But we're going to jump right into it after last night's impressive victory for the Houston Rockets as they even things up in the Bay Area for a 2-2 series. As things head back to Houston for the Western Conference Finals, they won 95-92. It's the first home loss for the Golden State Warriors in about 2 years. Andre Iguodala missed the game with a knee contusion after running into James Harden. Steph Curry scored 17 points in the third quarter and finished with 28 points, but his go-ahead three-pointer with 0.5 seconds to go came up short, even though Draymond Green thought it was good money from, as you could tell from the highlights. KD chipped in with 27 points, 12 rebounds. Draymond, 11, 13, and 8. As far as the Houston Rockets, Chris Paul, 27 points. James Harden, 30 points. But the thing that was alarming for the Houston Rockets, even though they got the victory, Harden and CP each had 4 assists, which is kind of troubling heading into Game 5, but I'm sure you'll discuss that a little bit more. Your boy P.J. Tucker had 16 rebounds. Gil, give him up.
Hey.
You're not going to give him, you called him 6'1", so I mean, it's 16 rebounds.
He did all right. No.
The Warriors had several attempts at the end of the game to either tie or go ahead for the victory. They ended up losing as the Houston Rockets tied the series up. Do you think this is the biggest test the Warriors have faced this postseason?
This is the worst execution I've ever seen.
Horrible execution down the stretch.
From the Warriors, the last 3 minutes of the game. I mean, it's like they're so intrigued with shooting the three and putting a dagger in everyone that I've seen Steph miss, air ball twice, trying to chuck a shot up. There was one play where it was, 94-92. James Harden is coming. No, not even James Harden. It was...
it might have been James on the closeout.
On the closeout, a simple pump fake, one dribble.
Yeah.
You chucked it right in his face, like one dribble. That tied the game up. Then when Draymond got fouled, that would have put you guys up. But I've never seen such bad basketball from this group.
Yeah.
But I think because they blow everyone out, that they've never had to execute at the end of the game.
But you kind of mentioned they like to play circus basketball on the road. Is this surprising that they play like that?
It was just poor execution the whole 2 minutes. I mean, the shot selection was bad. They didn't know who to give the ball to. Yeah. I mean, there was no plays ran. They were trying to do what Houston did. You know, KD got the ball at the end. You know, if I'm Kerr, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm not going to call a timeout. I'm not going to let you set up your defense. Right. Expecting KD to do what KD did, but he drove down the lane looking for somebody else to pass the ball to.
Gave it up to Klay Thompson.
And then gave it to Klay Thompson to shoot.
Like Kerr said after the game, he said he thought he'd get a better shot in transition, not singling out KD, but just saying the team in general. That's why he didn't call a timeout. He thought it'd be a better shot in transition. But, Metta, when you saw the game and the final stages, what did you expect from the Warriors? Were you shocked by their poor execution down the stretch?
It's just not normal, you know?
Yeah.
It ain't normal. So, I think, like, with those guys, they need a bad game. They're not perfect.
Right.
But when you play against them, it can be intimidating because you think these guys are unbeatable, but obviously we can see.
Of course.
With P.J. Tucker, you got Aaron Gordon, they all thick. It's kind of a bad matchup for the Warriors.
Yeah, they like to get physical when they play some good defense down the stretch. Cap, Klay Thompson, knee strain in the second quarter, still came back into playing the game. Do you think the Warriors are kind of vulnerable right now with people looking at Stephen Curry and him still coming back from injury and Klay Thompson being hurt now? What do you expect in Game 5?
Yeah, I still don't think Steph is 100% healthy, even though they're going to say that he is.
Yeah.
Yes. Klay's knee bears watching, Iguodala's knee bears watching, but I'm still putting my money on the Warriors going forward. And that being said, the execution was horrendous. Like that was college level execution, not like top tier college. That was like Big West, like, middle of January level execution of playing hero ball. And I'll even fight you and say that I would say the execution was terrible starting in the 5-minute mark in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
It was really bad for the last 5 minutes of the game. Like it was completely atrocious. But I'm not that worried about it. We'll chalk it up to one bad game and just really poor decision making down the stretch. And they're due for that game at some point because, yes, they had won 16 in a row, an NBA record at home in the playoffs. That streak was going to end at some point. I guess the most shocking thing to me is that D'Antoni the other day talked about how Houston had to play their A game to win at Golden State.
Yeah.
That wasn't their A game.
At all.
That wasn't even close to a B game.
Yeah.
That was maybe a B- or C+ game. They still won. So they are really lucky.
But that's what I said. This is the very first time I've seen in a long time. I remember I made a comment a long time ago. I said, Curry is not a last 2-minute guy.
Right.
He's not a go-to guy. And I said, only because he's never had to be in that situation because they're always blowing people out. He's always sitting on the bench. So he's never been tested to see if he can hit daggered shots when it counts. We all know the one.
You're saying they just blow out everybody.
We know the one, against OKC when he hit it damn near for half court. But other than that, he never had to play in situations like this. To see it, it's like.
And I thought you made a great point too. You were pointing out when we watched the game about how he couldn't even beat Harden off the dribble. He couldn't get away from Harden at all.
Yeah, he's a. I know what they're trying to do. They're trying to get the mismatch because Harden's a bad defensive player. But because Steph is not quick or fast, to shift James Harden the way he wants to shoot a jump shot against him, you might as well just get a big man out there and do that against the big man. The big man's going to back up, give you that space. But to try to isolate James Harden was a little bit.
I think it's true. I never thought Curry was like a superstar.
Yeah.
But when they won, they became superstars. When you was playing, you was like superstar, bad team or not. You know what I'm saying? But I still feel like they have flaws, but they play so well together. It seemed like you can't penetrate it.
Yeah, and that's what this team is. They're great together. So they all covers each other flaws. Yeah. And I think one flaw to just Curry's game is that he has all the moves, but they only work against certain people. And then KD has his moves work against people. Like Klay Thompson needs to learn how to put the ball down more than one dribble. Yeah. Even in the post-up, I already know what you're going to do. You're not going to put the ball down. You're just going to do a 360 turnaround jumper. like you guys, he has to elevate. Like, your shot is so amazing that if you dribbled more than 2 to 3 times, you can average 30. Yeah. You spend the whole summer just working on dribbling, and you can average 30 in this league because you're like Superman when it comes to
dude got 60 off 11 dribbles.
I know, but that's what I said. But if he put the ball down, because everyone's flying at this man's jump shot to the point where
that's what I'm saying.
If you jump before he shoots, you can probably block him because it's not like he's gonna pump fake you. He's at the point where he's like, "Fuck you, I'm gonna still shoot the ball."
Now, fellas, I need a prediction for Game 5, which could easily be one of the biggest games in Houston Rockets franchise history since their back-to-back championships in the 90s. Gil, who you rocking with in Game 5?
I'm going to give it to Golden State.
It's hard, yeah.
Only because even with them losing this game, they played C-level basketball and
Golden State, that is, right?
C-level basketball and, Houston they just don't have enough horsepower. You got two guys that can.
You got 2 horses compared to 4.
You got 2 horses, but if one of those horses is not playing well for a quarter or not, you're down 10. Yeah. And that's the bad part with them. They're just going to need one more player.
Metta, who you rolling with in Game 5?
I got Golden State, man. Yeah. I thought they would win here.
Cap, who you going with in Game 5?
Other than Houston Rockets supporters, the logical choice is the Warriors. So give me the Warriors +1 in Game 5.
So do we have the Warriors in the series?
It's going to be +1?
It's +1 right now, yes.
Do we
line open up as Rockets 1-point favorites in Game 5.
So do we have the Warriors winning the series ultimately?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Warriors.
Okay. Well, with that series tied up 2-2, another series that is tied up 2-2 is a game that's taking place tonight in Boston between Cleveland Cavaliers and the Boston Celtics. The Cavs got an impressive victory in Game 4 in Cleveland, 111-102, with LeBron James finishing with 44 points, 17 for 28 from the field. And he also passed Kareem Abdul-Jabbar for a playoff record of field goals made with 2,368. The Cavaliers supporting cast finally showed up, with Tristan Thompson providing 13 points and 12 rebounds, Kyle Korver 14 points and diving all over the floor, as well as George Hill with 13. Jaylen Brown scored 25 points for the Boston Celtics, and all of their starters were in double figures, but that still wasn't enough to beat the Cleveland Cavaliers, who jumped out to a 34-18 lead early on. So with Game 5 happening tonight, obviously it's a swing game for a variety of reasons. Will LeBron take care of business? Okay. Metta, do you think LeBron would take care of business tonight in Game 5?
I don't know. I'm a big LeBron fan because we just saw it in my household. It is what it is, and I enjoy playing against him.
Right.
I don't know. I can't see them being Boston.
Really?
What?
This next game, I think Boston goes in at home.
Boston is 9-0 at home.
I don't see Boston winning the Game 7 at home.
Really? So you would concede Game 5 to Boston?
I think they could win this next one.
Okay. Cap, who you?
See, I'm the opposite way. I feel like Game 5 is a truly, truly pivotal game here because I don't think, for some reason, I trust the reserves for the Cavs and the help to really stand up and perform in a Game 7 in that pressure situation going back to Boston.
Yeah.
So I really feel like the Cavaliers have to take care of business in Game 5 and hand the Celtics their first loss at home, and then close it out in Game 6. Yeah. Yes. So I'm going to go with LeBron in Game 5 because I just don't trust. I don't trust supporting cast in Game 7.
Well, I mean, you know what's so funny? I support their cast now. The fact that when you look at George Hill, like with LeBron, I just need you to be aggressive. I don't care if you make. As long as you're aggressive, it keeps everyone honest. The fact that you're not going to shoot shots, they don't have to guard you. You're not a threat. But the fact that, you have Hill taking shots, being aggressive, that takes away so much pressure from LeBron. Yeah. And that's why Game 5 is going to be a turning point because Hill is going to, I need you to do 10 to 15. Right. You do 10 to 15, we win this game.
It's kind of like you said in the green.
And that's what I'll be telling them. Hey, I just need you to score 10 to 15 points. We win this game. Because if you put that in his mind, well, he needs me to score and not be a decoy.
It's like you said the other day, I need you to do something.
I need you to do something.
Phil Jackson
just don't be out there just wasting fucking space.
He told me that one year, too. I was the Lakers. He was in the finals, and then he said, I need you to score. Basically, I had 0 points in one couple games, you know what I mean? And Phil's, I need you to score. Next game, I had 16, then I had 20. Do you gave me the confidence.
Do you feel a certain pressure? Okay, so you don't feel pressure. You feel a certain confidence that the coach gives you when he's like, I want you to go score.
Yeah, because if,
Henry, he needs you, Phil Jackson. Oh.
Because if you're out there, like some players, I remember when I was in Orlando, there was a point in time where I was scared to make a mistake. So if you're scared to make a mistake, that means
you're Gil?
Yeah. I was fucked up then. Yeah. But you're like, I don't want to turn the ball over. I don't want to miss any shot. So I'm just going to play safe basketball. Make passes. Don't do nothing else. Yeah. And
that's not you.
And I'm holding up somebody's space. It's like, I'm not doing it. I'm not being aggressive. I'm not doing anything out there. Just a roster spot on the floor. And that's why I said, so I know what's going through LeBron's head. Like, yo, shoot the ball, brother. And that's what Dwight, be aggressive. If you're aggressive, that means when I go to the hole, they have to jump at you, throw the lob. And then, boom, 20 points next time.
Hey, that's pretty amazing. Now, LeBron's been amazing this postseason. He's in company with Allen Iverson with the most 40-plus point performances this postseason, similar to what Allen Iverson did during his NBA Finals run in the early 2000s. However, the Athletic's Jason Lloyd had an interesting tidbit to share for LeBron because the NBA has implemented a tracking system throughout every arena, and it seems that in this Eastern Conference Finals, LeBron James is running on the court slower than anybody else, and LeBron responded to that quote. Well, not the quote from Jason Lloyd, but to that tidbit provided by Jason Lloyd. He was quoted as saying, "That's the dumbest shit I've ever heard. That tracking bullshit can kiss my ass. The slowest guy, get out of here." He also finished things by saying, "Tell them to track how tired I am after the game. Track that shit. I'm number one in the NBA on how tired I am after the game." So obviously LeBron is not buying the whole he might be the slowest player on the court for the Eastern Conference Finals. Gil, are you buying his reply?
I said it first. I said LeBron is not a one-on-one player. His first two steps are slow. So when they're tracking him in a half court. Yeah. Because when it comes to speed, LeBron is top 5 fastest players in the NBA. So when you see someone break out on a fast break and he gets to deer him down and make those amazing blocks, you give him the full court to do that. When it comes to a 100-yard dash, he is top 5 fastest in the NBA.
Because he can put out his speed.
Just like Usain Bolt, the fastest man in the world. But if you track Usain Bolt's first 3 steps and you stop it there, he is 5th. Because, and that's how, if when LeBron is in the half court and he has to beat someone off the dribble from 0 to whatever,
right.
he's not fast. He's not fast at all. So if you keep him in the half court and they're tracking his half court movement, he is going to be slow.
Metta, you've had some battles against LeBron James during your time in the Eastern Conference. You buying the fact that he's the slowest player in the Eastern Conference?
I understand what the analytics are saying. He's not working the hardest. They being nice to him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He's not working the hardest. If you see some of the shots that his opponent's taking, he's leaving them open. He's not closing out a lot. But he is trying to, in spurts, he's working hard.
Right.
So you can see like how the analytics would say he's like the slowest guy. And that's ridiculous. He's not the slowest guy. He's probably not working the hardest.
Right.
But then it looks like he is. But then some possessions, he's taking a break because his team is like, if you know, when you have to score 40 a night, you can't do everything.
Yeah, I mean, to build on
so they're not giving him no credit.
Exactly. To build on your point, I think he is resting a lot of these possessions because he has such a high workload for the Cavaliers. Are you buying that he's resting on most of these possessions, which makes him seem slower?
Yeah, I'm buying it because these cameras have been in the ceilings of NBA arenas for years now, and they follow every single step of these guys. So it's a cumulative steps that he takes.
Yeah.
Is he walking the ball up the court half the time?
Yes.
Is he walking back on defense half the time? Yes. So he's not going full tilt all the time. So yes, I buy the fact that he's slowing down and maybe the slowest player in the series, but it doesn't diminish what he's doing athletically and how he's balling out.
But that's what I said. It depends on. See, they're talking about speed. So the fact that if he's not in a fast break, he's not using his top speed in the half court. That's what I'm saying. The half court, because of his first 2 steps, they're not fast. He's going to always be tracking slow. Like, you had to guard him.
Yeah.
If you guarded LeBron under the free throw line, I guarantee you he didn't get by you. He had to pull you out behind this 3 and put you against a pick and roll to get you to bump. He can bump you, make you a little bit slower so he can go past you. Like, he's not a guy that says, all right, I'm going to get the ball, you're going to guard me, and I'm going to blow past you with 1 or 2 dribbles. That's not his game. So his IQ was smart enough to say, you know what, I'm going to stay away from these areas. I'm going to pick somebody like Artest, Metta World Peace. I'm going to put him in a position where his defense is not at his best. Yeah, he's a 4-time defensive player,
LeBron,
but
he's one of the smartest players, but
not against pick and rolls because he's never had to defend pick and rolls. He never had to defend at the top of the key, me coming at him full court. Now I put the best defensive player on backpedaling.
Yeah.
He's
and takes away his strength, and so it depends on where they're tracking him at. If you're tracking him in the full court, there's no way.
But it's not a bunch of bullshit. It's legit.
I'm saying I think they're being nice, man.
But again, there's context to it. Cumulatively speaking, it's not a bunch of bullshit.
I see your point, but also, too, is like the guys that he is competing against in this Eastern Conference Finals are very, very young.
And they say he's the slowest.
Like if they say the slowest, he's not the slowest. If they say he's not the quickest guy on the floor, that makes more sense. Not the fastest.
But he's not taking
fastest is top speed. Quickness is acceleration.
If we're having a 100-yard race, who are we taking between?
LeBron.
Exactly.
Absolutely, 100%.
You're taking LeBron.
He's like he's a train. Once he gets going, then you can't stop him. But if you're just tracking him every time he gets ready to start, look, the motherfucker's slow right there. Look. But that's why I said he's not a great one-on-one player because that is his acceleration.
Now he is.
It's not. But his acceleration, he needs to be like, in a race car, like, if you see 2-car race, like the Tesla, the Tesla is the fastest, but no one's ever going to bet on a long distance against a Lamborghini. Because Lamborghini tops off at 217, so in the long run, he's going to blow this Tesla out. But if you just let the Tesla go, to 40 yards every single time, yeah, of course. But that's what a one-on-one is. It's 40 yards. It's not 100.
What's amazing about his car analogies is like excellent cars. I can't say anything like that. Honda Accord,
I won't be affording a Lamborghini
Toyota Corolla. We can't even
I'm just talking about
yeah.
but that's what I'm saying.
Bring it down a level, please.
That's the thing is like, we're the fastest car in the world.
Yeah.
We get it.
Right.
10 feet.
For 10 feet, motherfucker, because you don't have no gears.
Now, while we've been talking about LeBron James, a guy that has been compared to LeBron James since entering the league is Philadelphia star. I would say rookie, but there's some speculation about that. Is Ben Simmons, and the NBA all-rookie teams were announced yesterday, and Philadelphia's Ben Simmons and Utah's Donovan Mitchell were unanimous selections for the NBA all-rookie teams. The guards received 100. He's shaking his head. The guards received 100 first place votes from a panel of sports writers and broadcasters. Boston's Celtics' Jason Tatum was just shy of the unanimous vote. He received 99 votes, one shy of the 100 unanimous.
Can I stop you there?
Go ahead.
Who the fuck voted?
Didn't vote for Jason Tatum?
Yeah, it's like, come on. Like, really, it should be 3 unanimous 100%. Who's the dickhead that decided they're just going to put these two guys in their own little app? That's what it was. Someone decided to say, you know what? I want them to stand alone by themselves since we've been comparing them to this whole season, and they voted against Tatum. Whoever did that, quit. You're a dickhead. Seriously. You're a fucking dickhead. You know, the guy damn near should be rookie of the year because legit say he's basically the only rookie this year in my standards. Yeah. You're 19.
Yeah.
The other two motherfuckers is 21. Yeah. Technically,
it was like
you can argue that, hey,
he is the only rookie.
Motherfuckers is sitting in college 52 years is not my fucking problem. Like, I'm true. I'm true to 19 years old.
Celtics head coach Brad Stevens said somebody made a mistake when it came to Jason Tatum being one vote shy of a unanimous selection.
Oh, okay.
So, you know, he came to his defense. Lakers' Kyle Kuzma had 93 votes. Bulls' Lauri Markkanen had 76 to round out the all-rookie first team. The all-rookie second team included Mavericks guard Dennis Smith Jr., Lakers guard Lonzo Ball, Hawks' John Collins, and Kings' Boban Bogdanovic, and Suns' Josh Jackson. So what do we make of the NBA all-rookie teams? Are you vibing with the list, Gil? Oh, well, obviously, aside from the guy that didn't vote for Jason Tatum to be unanimous.
Where was Fox at?
Was not on the list.
That's what I'm saying.
De'Aaron Fox was not on the list. Which is surprising because he had 2 game winners this year for a rookie.
Only 2? Shit, it looked like that was like 5 or 6 of them.
But I believe he had 2.
You know, I mean, only because he started off, you know, he had no.
It's nothing you can even say. Yeah, it's nothing you can say.
Like, he played well.
He's a good player.
Yeah,
but I think a lot of it too is where do you slide Ben Simmons? I guess he would be a guard, so that takes a spot from De'Aaron Fox. It's
you
like
don't think Ben
NBA
Simmons
selections.
is a rookie? You don't think he should be a rookie? How old is he?
I think he's a rookie.
No, he's 21. He's 21.
21.
Yeah, him and Mitchell are both 21. But you know, that's why I said the complaint is that he was in the league last year. And he benefited from the weights and all that. Okay, he didn't play a game. That's all that matters.
He still benefited.
That's all
everybody who
I don't give it. You can be in the weight room 3-4 years until you touch the fucking floor and you play against NBA talent. You don't know what the fuck that is.
What about NBA film study?
Film study? What the fuck does that have to do with it?
You got a point, but it's not the same as playing.
Okay.
He's a rookie, man.
I have a point.
He's a rookie. Okay. Embiid has been in the league 3 years, right?
Yeah.
Huh? Right?
Yeah.
He was a rookie in the playoffs. And it showed. It showed a whole different fucking game, and he played different. But but it showed what they were.
Yeah,
rookies.
So Metta,
rookies in the playoffs.
He didn't perform like a rookie in the playoffs. Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah, because he's like 45.
Why he should be the rookie of the year?
Well, I mean, the playoffs don't have nothing to do with rookie.
I know it doesn't, but I'm just saying it further cements my argument. But anyway.
Donovan Mitchell had an interesting tweet after the announcement was made of him making the All-NBA rookie team. He thought about going back to Louisville for another year. He thought he needed another year at Louisville, so he came into the league.
Again, he didn't think he was going to be a first-round draft pick.
And look at him now. He's the cornerstone for the Utah Jazz. Metta, you kind of sided with Gilbert as far as believing Ben Simmons is a rookie because he didn't step on the floor his actual first year. So you agree?
He's anybody that ever got hurt for one whole year, they was a rookie the next year. It's the rule. You can't change the rules. And if you look at some of the guys that, like Gil was saying, they old, man. Like these, you know what I'm saying? They old.
These guys come like
Lonzo's 19.
That's like
20.
Yeah, that's what I said. Lonzo 19, Tatum 19, right. And these guys have to take a back seat to older guys.
And not fair.
Yeah, they're like Guinness, right? You lose rookie of the year to a 22-year-old guy. But who's going to be the better player at the end of the day? Because what you look like at 18 and this guy look like at 20, once you turn 20, yeah, he's rookie of the year, but this guy's an all-star, all-NBA player at that same age.
But they don't look at it like that. Like
no,
a lot of the general managers.
no one looks at it like that because they only look at rookie season.
Right.
So when you say, who would I take to have a better career? I'm looking at age.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say, all right, Tatum at 19 played very well in the NBA. At 19, Mitchell, you was coming off the bench in college. At 20, you averaged 14. I get to see Tatum next year at 20. At 21, you were rookie of the year or co-rookie of the year. At 21, that's 2 years from now for Tatum. He might be an all-star.
And up for an extension.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, but he might be an all-star at 21.
Yeah.
I'm taking Tatum.
The scary thing about Jason Tatum is it's probably the worst that he'll be when it comes to just producing because he's playing very
But that's
well.
what I'm saying. He has a two-year window on these guys, and that's what people don't understand. Like you're comparing Ben Simmons to LeBron. Ben Simmons' rookie season to LeBron's rookie season, yes, but LeBron's rookie season, he was 18 years old. Yeah. When LeBron was 21, he was averaging 31, 8, and 8. There's no fucking comparison.
None.
Yeah.
There's no comparison.
LeBron at 17 was.
That's what I'm saying. But people are so stuck on the rookie year. After the rookie season, after this season's over with, now you're just going to be tracked by age. So when Tatum has a 2-year window. Most of the guys he's aged with are fucking in high school still. Yeah. There's 20-year-old high school kids.
Which is.
But that's his group. Like that's what I said. Like Ingram. Ingram is 2 years in the NBA. Is only 20 years old.
20.
Yeah. His class is still in high school. So his stats are tracking so far that when it's all said and done, he'll be. There's no comparison to the stats. So like when you take Tatum and Mitchell, since they are technically, well, you have to take all three of them.
Yeah.
And you track their stats. In year 15, you're going to have 2 of them at 36, turning 37. You're going to have 1 at 34. Yeah. Who's going to be playing prime basketball at that point?
Probably Jason Tatum.
The 34, and they're going to have all the way stats. So his stats are going to track better if you say 15 years in advance.
Metta, who do you think has the brightest future amongst the all-rookie NBA teams?
I mean, Tatum looks amazing. I mean, I haven't even watched him play. The highlights that I've seen, his footwork. Yeah. You know, I'm not really. I haven't been following Boston.
Right.
But I've seen the highlights. Yeah. And I haven't seen the full game, but he looks pretty solid.
Yeah. He mentioned LeBron coming in at 18 and kind of tearing the league up. You have an interesting story about guarding rookie LeBron James, who had some words to say about you, right?
LeBron, where? And oh yeah. Well, I played against LeBron when he was 15 in the summertime.
Oh wow.
He's me, Jordan, Finley. I was 19. And LeBron came in the
So this is LeBron, Michael Jordan, Michael Finley. I assume this is in Chicago?
Stackhouse in Chicago. LeBron was there working with the pros, he was in there working hard and then lifting the weights and doing what he got to do. You know, with Charles Barkley was in there at the end of his career, but then Antoine Walker was at the prime of his career, you know? Yeah. And LeBron was getting good work.
Right.
You know, with pros at 15, he came back again at 16.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So he went back to high school, killing them, right? But I played against him the first time. He had 25. I didn't expect this. I was the best defensive player in the league.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? This was not supposed to happen. I was furious.
Yeah.
And then he came and pointed to, he told the Indiana fans, this is your defensive player of the year.
You was kind of stunned, right? You was like,
I was kind of upset.
You look upset. Yeah.
I was mad.
Yeah, it's okay.
But it was okay.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But we had some wars like LeBron. He got the best. He's one of the few players that actually, at my position to get the best of me. Yeah. But he definitely got the best of me in my career. Yeah. I had some really good games.
But that's because he takes you out of your element.
But I had a game where I held him to no assists, and it was like,
oh, nice.
Yeah, it was pretty cool because that was his main thing. You know, he had 19 points. No, I remember a couple of good games that I had against LeBron. I was pretty happy about that.
And see, that's why I said, like, people ask me, like, yo, how did you score 60 on Kobe? Yeah. And I said, because what Kobe is great at, I used against him.
Right.
You know, so I didn't let him play to his strength.
Yeah.
I said, okay, well, Kobe's not used to people going 1-4 flat because 2 guards don't go 1-4 flat. They're coming off pick and rolls, and they need the ball from somebody. So every time he went against me, I said, you know what, I'm just going to 1-4 flat him. And then once I make my first move, I'm not picking the ball up again.
Quickest first step.
Yeah.
I was a hell of a defender, man. I could not just sit there with Gil. I had to, you know, and he boom right by you. You're chasing him down.
So when I played, Ron had to stick me.
Yeah.
But
because he still was like maneuvering.
Because I was posting up, so they were trying to take away the post up. So with Ron, it's like, well, I'm just going to 1-4 flat him. And just use my speed. And that's what I did. I used my speed, and I'm not going to, like here, you got people trying to do 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 dribbles. Like, no, I got one dribble. Once I get a shoulder past Kobe, I'm taking 2 long steps.
Yeah, because you was fast, quick, and explosive.
So that's what I did. So I hit Kobe with a crossover,
really
got him to go,
and
then from there it's just I'm picking the ball up. I'm 1, 2, let's go. I'm not gonna sit here and fuck around with the guy, and that's
average
why.
30, huh?
Yeah.
You lucky, man. You know what that is? Nobody understands. That's like another class. As a basketball player,
Average 30?
That's hard.
That's hard.
I remember when I was averaging 12 and 11, then I was averaging 20, then I was averaging 24. I'm trying to get, in my mind, I'm trying to get to 30, you know, but it's like I can't get there for a season.
It's the details.
It's crazy.
Like, you know, and I tell people, like, if you study basketball, it's easy. You know, it's like when to be aggressive, when not. Like, if you got Jermaine O'Neal and what's the name, and they got you into the penalty, now that's when you be aggressive. Boom, boom, boom. Because now every little tic-tac, you're at the free throw line. Now you're shooting free throws. Now you're getting 6, 7, 8 free throws.
I couldn't think that far.
Yeah. Now you're getting 6, 7 free throws. And, you know, before you know it, you're averaging 28, 29 because you just took a little small part of the game that nobody paid attention to and you used it to your advantage.
Pretty impressive.
All right. Switching gears here, guys. LaVar Ball thinks his boys are going to be billionaires before LeBron. Dead ass. This is the poll. All right. So Papa Ball is once again in the news, and this time because he said his sons will be billionaires before LeBron, and also because ticket prices for his JBA, the league he's trying to get off the ground, are absurdly high. So we'll start off with the whole LeBron being, or his boys being billionaires before LeBron. And while at the Pro Basketball Combine at IMG Academy, watching LiAngelo work out for scouts, LaVar explained to Hoop Journey how his sons would earn their first billion before LeBron, pointing out that LeBron, after 15 years in the NBA, is only worth a measly $400 million. Only $400 million. So LaVar said this, quote, check this out. This is nothing. Melo's shoes are $400. Lonzo's shoes are $500. If they sell 1 million shoes within a year or two, I'm giving them all the money. So that's $500 million they're going to make right there. Lonzo, Jello, and Melo are going to be the first ball players to be billionaires playing ball.
They got a frenzy out there now.
Yes, so the delusional ball family is completely on brand as usual. So LaVar also pointed out the big baller brands populated in China as a reason they will hit billion, but also neglected to mention, you know, taxes, overhead costs, and all the usual business expenses and blah, blah, blah. Yeah. So, guys, will big baller brand actually make the Ball brothers billionaires? We'll start with you.
Listen, I think collectively, they one day they have the potential to be a billionaire. They're starting so early, and, you know, what they're doing right now is going to change the game. You know, they're coming in with their own brand, huge following. And the father understands digital. Yeah. His digital game is better than the NBA's probably digital game. Yeah. So, I mean, if he hits the right buttons and he scales the right way, the company could grow. Now, just because you're a billionaire doesn't make you any better than anyone else. You know, if you go in Silicon Valley, you'll see a billionaire in some ripped up shorts, right? Yeah. So it's not really saying much, but yeah, I think they can do it. I don't know about before LeBron. LeBron's going to be a billionaire pretty soon.
Gil, you're a pretty savvy businessman. You want to weigh in here?
Unless they buy Billionaires Boy Club shirts, that's all billionaire they're going to see. Like, I'm sorry, it's just not going to happen. It's not going to happen because you don't have
a million shoes?
Look, I understand what someone writes. Oh yeah, you know, at $400, you sell 1 million of these. Like, listen, LaVar, one, you don't have the money right now to make a 1 million shoes. So that means you have to pre-order shoes. One, that means you have to get us to buy $1 million worth of shoes. For us to buy $1 million worth of shoes, we have to get the first fucking pair that we ordered, and it's been a year and a half or a year, and we still haven't got the shoe. So the fact that you really think we're gonna fall for the same thing twice on Jello shoes and LaMelo shoes, not gonna fucking happen. Okay, that's not gonna happen. Like if we would have got our shoes from the first order, okay, all right, he's a good businessman. But the fact that you probably took some of the money, did some other things with it, and, you know, soon as someone said, hey, no refunds, I already know what that game is. No refunds. Like,
it's amazing you can do that and say no refunds.
No refunds, but that's what I'm saying. Like, selling 1 billion shoes online,
crazy.
It's not going to happen.
Pierce, you have some business advice for Mr. Ball?
Metta, I'm glad you're here on Out of Bounds so you can join in on this. You like to do. Fellas, can we get a collective hand wave real quick? Hand wave. Come on. Get that out of here.
$1 million.
No $1 million.
Like,
Come on.
all right,
He said nobody got the first juice.
Nobody,
When you're basically a fraud, it's going to be tough to be a billionaire.
like I like it.
I don't think he could be before LeBron. I think LeBron would be a billionaire before.
Yes.
Yes.
He's probably on his way right now.
I mean, he technically has the $1 billion deal from Nike.
yeah, he is a billion. He's basically a billionaire.
I just want to. No, the best part is he really thinks Jello is going to get in the league and sell $500 million worth of shoes. Okay. All right.
Yeah, Jello's is
Okay.
Yeah, Jello I think is $400 his signature.
Oh, so they all got shoes, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
All right, we got to talk about the JBA, the league that LaVar is trying to get off the ground. That's the NCAA alternative. Ticket prices got announced, and again, no top 100 recruits for the NCAA are going to be playing this league when it finally kicks off. Tickets went on sale on Monday. They range from $35 for groups of 15 or more, so you get a discount, I guess, if you can get enough friends to go to this, to as much as $99, and this is before fees. Who the fuck is going to pay $99 to go watch these guys play ball?
Correction. They do have a one top tier guy.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, you're right.
LaMelo?
Okay.
His son is His son is in there, and he is ranked. Other than that, you got a whole bunch of future UPS workers.
Yeah. Because you can get a G League ticket for $10, which is much better basketball than what you're going to find in the JBA.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. You have semi-pros and just semi-pros. You basically got semi-pros for $10, and you're talking about the bottom of the bottom. I mean, future UPS workers, I'm sure.
How much money would you pay to go see a JBA game?
I mean, honestly, I would pay the support. I bought the Zoe shoes.
You get them yet?
You didn't get them yet?
I got them later. I got them later.
The wrong way away right now.
Your size?
It was my size, man.
Okay.
My
All
size.
right.
It was my size.
Came in last week.
I got it when I was trying to support, man. You know, somebody tried to come make their own shoes.
With it.
And I'm not saying that the tickets are worth that much. I just do an event, and it was $25 tickets. I had some celebrities there, right? So I don't know. The G League is $10, $99. I don't know. I think he has a frenzy. You think people will pay? I don't know.
But if you could go see better basketball for $10,
But
why
that's
you
what
pay
I'm saying. You're going to
$100?
see pros. You see pros for $10. The fact that none of these kids are top 100, top 200. I mean, let's be honest. If these kids had a scholarship to a D2 school, they would have took it. So the fact that you can just go out there and say, most of these kids probably didn't even have D2 scholarships, and you're going to charge $99 for them.
You might be able to go to a Clippers game for that.
Like, I'll pay.
A lot less.
Yeah, you can get to an NBA game for that price. Yeah. I mean, if it's in LA, I'm gonna go to a game just to go for shits and giggles,
right.
just to support it. But at the end of the day, after a few games, supporting somebody's vision and really watching bullshit talent is two different things.
And the other thing is LaMelo apparently is not even going to play in games unless they're being played in LA. So if if his team is traveling to a different destination, you can't even see LaMelo play for his team.
I guess that Lithuania trip, he's like, no more traveling for me.
Maybe that's it.
With LaMelo, that is the hardest one because he has talent, he has name, he has skill. So, putting him in his league, I think is bad because, one, it's not going to help him grow because they're just happy to be on the fucking court with this guy. So just put him somewhere else besides your league. I know this is technically his league too, but
I feel you.
the only thing that's going to happen to your son is one of these jack-off hurts him.
Yeah.
And that's all it is. Get him back overseas and let him get his competition level up and keep developing his skill because playing against a bunch of kids that shouldn't be on the court with him is not.
Yeah. All right. Keeping it moving, got to talk about Kobe clapping back at Kanye for his slavery quote. So while meeting with high schoolers in downtown LA at the We Rise Festival promoting mental health, awareness, and system reform, Kobe Bryant responded to a student who asked him a question about his thoughts on Kanye's recent quotes about slavery being a choice. So speaking to TMZ earlier this month, we know what Kanye said, and that was, quote, "When you hear about slavery for 400 years, that sounds like a choice. You were there for 400 years, and it's all y'all. It's like we're mentally in prison." So when Kobe was asked about this question at the We Rise Festival, he responded to the kid with this, quote, "I'm sure I feel the same way everybody else here in this room feels. What the hell are you talking about? The thing about our country is that you have the right to say whatever it is you want to say. That's the beautiful thing about living in a democracy. I think for him, he's one of those entertainers that's always in a constant state of growth. He's always challenging himself, doing a lot of questioning internally himself. So I just take it for what it is and completely disagree. Guys, reaction to Kobe's comments, and I guess we'll start with you right here, Metta.
Yeah, I mean, I think he was on point. He was very diplomatic. You know, Kanye said some things that I don't believe. So, you know, slavery was a choice. He said maybe in this day and age, maybe, yeah, you can go to school and you can read. You know, I always tell people, if you need money from me, don't ask me for money. Read a book, and you can find out so much information and better yourself. So yeah, in this day and age, yeah. But back then, no. You take a newborn baby from a mother, then you whip that baby into shape. Yeah. That ain't no choice, man. The baby don't got no choice, man. Right. And the lady's weak enough, you already separated the family and you put the strongest on the boat, right, and you brought them here through the West. You brought them to America. Right. And the mothers are home, you know, there's no strength there. Right. Ain't no baby gonna tell his master, you know, no.
Yeah, it's systemic. It's like, so, yeah, I agree.
When I read Kanye's quote, I read the whole quote. See, I think everyone stopped that. That sounds like
that's a headlining quote.
That's where I stopped at, honestly.
See,
that's all I heard.
I think if you stop at that was 400 years, that was a choice, and not read the rest. See, the rest of it is what we actually all think sometimes. Like, wait a minute, how come we just can't, as a group, fuck them up? Where we outnumber them. And I think that's what he was trying to say. He's trying to say, like, for 400 years, you guys had the numbers.
Right.
I mean, we don't know what the numbers were, but, you know, if there's a slave master and a worker and there's 100 people in the field, if you guys fuck them two up and then go to the next field and fuck them two, that's how we think in our mind. Okay, we can these two, fuck them up, we overtake, and we can get out of slavery. That's how the mind probably worked with him. And that's what he was probably trying to say.
Maybe motivating people.
I think everyone just stopped at 400 years. It was a choice, and no one really looked at the whole. I think we read to answer back instead of reading to understand.
That's what I did. Like, somebody asked me the question. I was getting off the airport, TMZ. Then I just kept hearing this one quote. Yeah. And I go online and say, oh wow, I didn't read everything like I should have read. But, you know, I had to give an opinion because so many people was asking, what do you think about Kanye? Yeah. You know?
Yeah, because that's what I'm saying. He's saying it. He said, for 400 years, you didn't overtake. We were mentally in prison.
Okay, I understand.
You know, so he's basically saying that because if you read the rest of his stuff, it was like, they did something to someone, made an example so bad it scares everyone else.
Oh, right.
And it's just like, you know, football with Kaepernick. You know, we were talking about it the other day. He done something. We're going to show you that's not what you're not going to be doing. All you guys are not going to be doing it. So we're going to make an example out of him, right? Yeah. So no one else do it. And we've all sat here and said, hey, wait, they have the numbers. The football players have the numbers. They can just walk the fuck out. It's the same thing what Kanye was trying to say. Everyone, you guys got the numbers. You can all sit and stand. They can't do nothing to all of you guys. But the example is he lost his job, and everybody's like, oh,
like you were trying to say, he was trying to get the sentiment of it's like we're mentally in prison. But it came out so poorly, and the rhetoric was so dangerous that people
because it's Kanye.
But it's like to say, I see where you're trying to get to, but to say when you hear about slavery for 400 years, it sounds like a choice. That right there nullifies what you're trying to get to.
Yes, and that's what I said, and everyone stopped there. You're not reading the rest of it because we're all guilty of saying exactly what he did. What he said, we're all guilty. We've done it on the show where we've said, yo, the football players have the numbers. Won't they just boycott? Won't they just sit there and say, you know what, you guys, this is how you guys are treating us. We're going to sit here and boycott. But they're not.
All right, Pierce, you and I can't relate to having a TMZ camera shoved in our face. No. You two obviously can. So is it very tough to kind of censor yourself and stop yourself from saying something that you're going to regret?
You're talking probably the wrong two people.
That's what I'm asking. That's why we're asking.
When it comes to TMZ and just, you know, cameras been put in for you have to listen to everything they're saying so you know how to answer. If you're just trying to hurry up and answer them and get the fuck out, you're going to say something stupid. Right. and that's just media peers. So you have to listen to everything they're saying.
Yeah.
And then,
because you'll have whole conversations with the teams.
Oh, yeah, I have whole, because I'm listening to everything they're saying, so I know how to work around that.
Spin it and twist it back.
Spin it and twist it back in their face. But if you just put in your thing, you're like, oh yeah, so I like bitches all day, right? And your girlfriend's sitting right there, it's like,
Sometimes you get the camera and it makes you say things you don't want to say.
Yeah, I like when Kanye ran into the sign, he had his head down and ran into the sign. Yeah.
He got mad at the other people, right?
He was like, bro.
Yeah, that's what I say.
I love Kanye, man. I ain't gonna lie.
But didn't Nick Young say some wild shit about Iggy?
He might have.
Probably.
Like, oh yeah, I'm about to go make her brag.
Oh yeah, he did say that. He was drunk. Allegedly.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
one more serious question about this topic. You're obviously a pioneer in mental, health awareness for the NBA. It's cool that kind of Kobe's now hitching his wagon to that, kind of endeavor also.
Yeah, I see everybody getting involved. I remember when I won that championship and I had that session with my therapist. I called at 10 p.m. I need you here in the morning. Yeah. It's game 7, you know what I mean? I was like, in the game, I'm thinking about Garnett gonna be talking trash, Pierce gonna be talking trash, and I can't, when somebody starts talking, I just get distracted. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I gotta, I was in the playoffs, he was in game 6 to go to the finals. It was Indiana versus Detroit, and Rip got me in the nuts a little bit. Yeah. So I elbowed him in the face. It was only 1 minute left. Game tied up, they hit 2 free throws, and then they score, and they win by 4. To the finals. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, all this shit going through my head says one of my last chances, right? So I come out and I say, thank my psychologist. And, I remember when I did that, people was just like, I was trying to do like shows on it and stuff. And people was like, nah, but the same people that said no when I'm doing the show, the same network. That's crazy, right?
There's a mental health is very important because people don't understand what makes great players great. Right. Because they're mentally strong. So when you look at the cocky of the cocky, or you look at the crop of the cream of the crop, they all have the same mindset. They're fucking dickheads.
Yes,
the
true.
dickheads that's all self, that I'm the best, and they keep telling themselves. I remember when I went through a slump my very first year, I didn't get drafted where I thought I was. The coach that recruited me to Arizona, Rodney Tension, said, trust me, you have it. I'm going to send you something. He sent me a highlight tape. He said, every time you feel like you don't have it, watch yourself do it. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
So anytime I had bad games, I'll pop that VHS in. It was my college stuff, and just showing me go cook people. Right. And then I started realizing every time I watched the tape, had a great game.
I'm going to keep watching tape.
No, it's just positivity. So it's like, that's when hibachi started really growing, and I started talking myself into shots. And I started talking this shit like, he can't guard me. Well, who is him? Hey, don't watch me. Watch TV. Because you hit a couple shots, and then people start, hey, don't watch me. Watch TV. You got game film. I do this. Ain't no bullshit. I do this. Just go watch the TV. And I used to do that because it kept me going and kept me in a positive light. Instead of missing a shot, now I'm all like, oh, man. Because once you say, oh, man, and you feel doubtful, everything goes. So mental health is very important, especially to trigger athletes.
Yeah, no, it's very important, and we see it's kind of, you thank your psychiatrist after Game 7 when y'all clinched the championship against the Boston Celtics. It's funny how progressive the league has gotten at this point, because at that time in 2010, people were like, yo, Metta thanked his psychologist after the game.
They called me crazy.
Right, but if you look at the players now that address the things that they've gone through, like Kevin Love and his panic attacks, or DeMar DeRozan and his depression. I mean, Real Sports had a special last night on Royce White and his mental health awareness. So it's great to see the league accepting all this and trying to help players.
We've had, when I was I don't know if you guys had, but I know we had a psychologist on the staff. We had a sports psychologist. So they're there, but you got to be willing to talk.
Right.
If you're not willing to talk and use them, because as a player, and you're the team psychologist, I'm not telling you shit. So you can run up there and tell that fucking jack off, and then that fucking jack off can lowball me because he thinks I'm fucked up here. I'm good. Nah.
That's so true, man.
Fuck you.
It's so true, man.
Fuck
so
you
true.
and your tie.
It's so true.
I'm not that fucking stupid to tell you my fucking deep dark secrets. You run up there. Now I'm just on my max
now
deal.
You can't get one of
I'm on my max deal. They're talking about, hey, we got $62 million for you. Y'all fucked up right now.
You looking at it like $62 million.
What other 100 at? You fucking dickhead.
Yeah, it's true, man. That's so true. I know I was talking to them when I first started. I wouldn't tell nobody nothing.
But that's the problem. We have them there, but no one's going to trust them because they're attached to the team.
Yeah.
But maybe some of them say, "Hey, what you say here stays here," but who knows?
Yeah, no, but you still
got that paranoia.
I don't really believe you.
Yeah, no one's gonna believe you. So you don't really get to really say how you feel because these people are in the locker room, they're there for you to talk to them. But
it's too easy to go upstairs.
It's too easy to go upstairs. Yeah. So it's like you're not going to really get that player to really say what's going for you to actually help this guy during the season.
Yeah. All right, keeping it moving. Since we have the artist formerly known as Ron Artest here, we got to talk about Metta's new book, and that is, of course, No Malice: My Life in Basketball. How a kid from Queensbridge survived the streets, the brawls, and himself to become an NBA champion, which is out now. And in this, you discuss everything. Talking about childhood, we're talking about drinking before NBA games, talking about the mouse and the palace, and obviously mental health and everything that's kind of, become your brand through basketball. Ton of moments in here that we could get to, but what ones do people bring up most when they see you on the street?
People bring up the Hennessy at halftime. That was a famous one.
You think?
That was a famous one. I was wild, man. I did so much. I was so disruptive, man.
How would you play?
I don't know how I survived the NBA. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know how.
But you had a great career. I mean, you carved out a great career.
It was. I mean, I came in crazy. My first tryout with the Knicks, man. I was. I didn't even make it because I was drinking too much. I was hungover.
Wow.
I couldn't go to the session. I couldn't get up. I was 19 going. That was my first enter into the NBA. And then it just been crazy.
But you thought the Knicks would draft you, right?
I thought I was gonna get drafted. I thought I was from New York. I was good enough, projected to go top 10, and the Knicks was there. I was like, oh shit, I'm going to the Knicks. So I'm like, I ain't got to go to practice. I'm going out. I was in the club the night before, and then just a lot of crazy stuff, and then like disruptive, and then I had my babies, and I wasn't able to deal with that pressure of having a family.
Right.
And 17 years old. Yeah. And then you get to college, you see new things. You get the NBA is crazy. You got all type of women. You go crazy, and all that was driving me insane, man. Throughout my career, I was never able to focus on the game, and I still somehow did all right.
But there's amazing stories about you. I mean, there's the one about you approaching Kobe in the shower and asking for you to join the Lakers. There's one about you working at Circuit City while an NBA contract in Chicago. There's other great ones like, wearing number 37 because Thriller was number 1 on the chart for 37 weeks. So it's like there's amazing layers to you that make for great tales and awesome stories.
Yeah, when they first wanted to do the book, I'm like, just go to Google, man. You know what I mean? Everything about it's right there. All the bad stuff, just piece it together.
This is all the bad stuff. Just do it.
But now in retirement, you got a lot going on. There's more than just this book. You have an app that you're working on. You're talking about wanting to go to school before. And so talk about all the stuff that you have going on.
Yeah, when I first, last year, the last day of my game, we was in Golden State. And it was the last game. I remember we was down. I kept playing hard to the end. Because I knew it could have been it. It could have been it. So I went hard. We lost. I didn't shake their hand. I just wanted to compete until the end. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And I woke up the next day. I was nervous, man. I'm like, yo, what am I going to do for the rest of my life, yo? And so I had a really bad day that day. I was calling everybody. And the next day, literally, I called UCLA Extension. I said, I was a math major. I like to do certain things. I like philanthropy, I like basketball. So I'm just going to try to give this thing a shot. And, I love coaching. I love philanthropy. It's like, I don't want to do all coaching. I don't want to do all philanthropy. I want to be home with my kids. So I'm trying to figure out how is this all going to work, And then I developed this application called Gradello. It's a sports education app. I'm around the game. I'm working in front of the computer. It doesn't require me to be away from my family. So I was trying to figure that out, and that was my balance.
Yeah, I love your honesty, and a lot of times players do run into that conflict of not knowing what to do after life ends. I'm not like basketball and sports life ends.
But let's be honest.
That's actually your first death.
That is life ending because you're talking about kids who picked the ball up since they were little. Their whole life was scheduled around basketball. Yeah. So it was like I woke up, I knew my purpose. When it's done, everyone says, be home with your family. Yeah. Well, I never had. I never did. Athletes, especially basketball players. I can't speak for football, but basketball is like, all right, I wake up in the morning. By the time I wake up, they're gone. going to school. So then I get up, eat breakfast, go to the gym, or I eat breakfast at gym, practice, get home, take a nap. By the time they get home, it's like, oh, hey, how was school? And then I'm out back at the gym. And then, you know, back going to the gym. Then they come to the game, get a little wave, woo, you know. Then they kiss before the tunnel, have a good, you know, I see you when you get home. And then the new kids started putting their kids on, you know, the podium with them. But that's all the time they see their kids. You know, come on, I'm getting kids. But by the time they get home, the kids are asleep.
Yeah.
So you can really go a week, 2 weeks without really having any,
it's true.
you know, action with your kids. So
and it becomes normal.
Then when it's done and you're sitting home and you're like, all right, be a father. So do I change your pamper? Like, nigga, I'm 7. Like, oh, so no pamper. Okay. Like, you know, like, the fuck am I supposed to do? And it's scary because you
Nigga,
never,
I'm 7.
you don't,
I'm 7.
You 7? You don't lead up to that. So it's like, it's the scariest part of it. You know, so now it's like once you start realizing who your kids are, it's like, yo, I want to be home. I want to find
What's your middle name, nigga?
I want to find jobs that keeps me in the house.
He said, I'm 7.
Last time I had an accident with you, I was changing your pamper.
Yo.
All right, I'm gonna try to bring it back a little bit before we close it out.
I'm 7. Like, yo, back up away from me.
Oh, man. Yo.
Yeah, take it, brother.
Actually, you know what? It's done. I can't top that. I can't.
Because he knows it's like you get home and you ain't practicing with your kids. You're like, who are these motherfuckers? For real? Like, I don't know. But that's why they say 85% of divorces happen first 4 years after because they don't know. We don't know each other.
You get each other's nerves.
No, because it's like you.
really don't know them.
The woman does this. They've been with you from the beginning through your basketball career, and when it's done, they're like, it's your turn.
Exactly.
It's your turn to be a parent. You're like,
It's hard. It's hard for a woman to be a parent, man.
And that's why you see, like, where's that ESPN job at? Hurry up and get into the sports analyst. I need to be traveling again.
But Metta,
this is locker room talk, man. I love it, man.
Metta, we appreciate
Oh, my
you stopping
goodness.
by Out of Bounds, man. It seems like you joined in. You just knew everything
book,
to do.
though. Get the book.
We got your book
man.
right here.
It's out
Once
now.
again, No Malice, My Life in Basketball, How a Kid from Queensbridge Survived the Streets, the Brawls, and himself to become an NBA champion.
Classic, man.
Metta, we appreciate you coming through. For Adam Caparell, Gilbert Arenas. I'm Pierce Simpson.
Absolutely.
Wraps up, Metta.
Yo, that's crazy, man.
Yeah, body slammed you. It was on accident. It was going for the ball, but he got me in a suplex. And then I went to the ref. I was like, yo, what the fuck? How you just gonna let him do that? Right? And he was like, what did he do? Y'all just both fought for the... I said, he spit me. There was a tech there. No, man, you already know who he is. Like, tech him up. And I was like, so the ref was just laughing. And I said, yo, hey, you know, to be honest, how many texts have you gave Ron? He's like, Ron? None. What the fuck you mean? You know, like, he's an animal out there. He said, to be honest, Ron's never said anything to me. I said, you sure? I went to the next ref. Hey, have you ever gave Ron Artest? He was like, no. He doesn't say it. And I was like, and then he was one of the refs was like, Ron never, his technicals don't come from talking shit to us.
Yeah, I know.
It comes from like elbowing, doing the shit like that. But he said he's never actually said anything to us for us to just give him a text. So it's not like, and I was like,